Hi, I'm Jessica Fensel. I'm the Tech Integrationist from Atlantic Community School District. This is a tutorial on how to use Google Docs within the subject science. The first thing I want to show you kind of the end product here. What we're going to do is pretend we're going to do a rocket experiments or lab. So what we've done is I'm using the example of Miss Moore, the 8th grade science teacher in Atlantic Community School District, and what she has done is she created a form for each period that she had science, and then she had the results part down here where then they take those results for each period and kind of did their own charts. So our overall objective is to collect the data with the form. Then the data is collected, then the next day then would work on the results part and look at how a chart can give them examples of what to work on. So that's what I'm going to kind of demo today. So in theory, we are going to create a form in your Google Drive. So first thing, I'm assuming that you have a Google account of some sort, and inside your Google account, you're going to access the Drive application, which is right here, which I'm already in. Then you're going to create a form. It's the very first thing you're going to do. Now I do talk fast, so if you're not with me, go ahead and pause if need be. You're going to create a form. You're going to go ahead and hit create, and you're going to click form. Okay, I have already done so, and I've already created a form. So I'm going to show you a sample of the form. So I have already created a form. I just want to show you what it looks like. So this is the form that I've created, a demo Google Docs in Science. So I'm going to click on this particular form, and this is what the form looks like. So majority of them are just text fields. So for example, if I click on that, it's mostly just a text field. You have different choices that you want to choose. Now when you're collecting data, please be careful on how you choose it. Most of the data you're going to collect is going to be a text field. The only option here was there was two different types of rockets that they tested, so I did a multiple choice on that particular question. Again, you could get really more detailed if you want. There's three parts to a form. This is the edit portion of the form. When you create a form, it defaults to the edit portion. But the edit portion of the form is not what you're going to post on the website. What I mean by that, remember that I showed you the demo of Miss Moore's? That's kind of what we're going to do. Then you're going to go to responses, and you'll notice there is a view responses. That is the results part of the form. So three parts. Let's recap. There's the edit portion, there is the results portion, and there is the live portion of a form. The live portion of the form is what you're going to post on the website. So how do you get the live portion? Well, in this particular case, you can click right here. It says the View Live Form. Again, I'm going to click on the View Live Form, and you can see this is what the form looks like. This is the form that we're going to put on the website. This is the form that your students are going to complete. So I'm going to highlight this link right here, and I'm going to copy that link, and I'm going to go to my website. I have a science demo website. Now, I want it to kind of look similar to Miss Moore's right here, where it has just simple little database. So that is a file cabinet page. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go back to my demo website. I'm going to go ahead and click New Page, and I'm going to call it Projects or Labs, whatever you want to do. Now the default of the template is always a web page. You can always change it if you make the mistake, but if you want, just go ahead and choose the file cabinet page. A list would be another option you could do, but I'm going to demonstrate file cabinet. I'm going to leave it as is and go ahead and hit create. The reason why I like file cabinet is really simple to just quickly add links and make folders. So I'm going to add a link, and I'm going to consider this period 1. So I'm going to click add link, and I'm going to read the instructions here. It says add the file web page. Remember, I copied that URL from this form, the live portion of the form, this portion of the form. I have copied that already, and I'm going to go back over here and I'm going to paste that. I'm going to say period 1 form. I could put a description if I want to. Please complete, and blah, blah, blah. Okay, I'm going to hit add. Okay, so this is the portion there that they could do. So I could actually add a folder, and so it's organized. I'm going to add a new folder and call it Forms or Data Collection. You can use your science terms. There we go. I'm going to click on this again, and I'm going to move it to that new folder I have created. So that is period 1. So I'm going to do one more step since I'm already in this process. I'm getting everything ready for my class. This is all the prep work you'll need to do prior to class taking place. So I'm going to go back over here to Science Demo, and this is my form. Now you'll notice down here I have one that says Google Docs in Science Responses. Well, when they complete the form, it goes to the response page. I'm going to go ahead and click on this. And while this comes up, now we want them to view this page. We want everyone in that class to complete that form. Once they complete that form, we want all the results to be viewed. Oops, excuse me here, I'm going to refresh here. They want to be able to view all those results. Alright, so here's the results part of the form. Now nothing has been completed, but we do want your students to view this. So the thing I'm going to do is you need to make sure you have the correct permissions on this form. So I'm going to go ahead and click on Share. Again, I do go fast and this is a lot of information, so please feel free to pause this tutorial. I'm going to click on Private and I'm going to click on Change, and I'm going to change it to anyone with the link because I want anyone with the link have view only rights. So I'm going to go ahead and hit Save. And I'm going to hit Done. Now I'm going to go up here and copy this URL. Okay, so I'm going to copy that URL and I'm going to go back to my project's website and I'm going to add a link and I'm going to say results period 1. Now keep in mind, if you only have one class or whatever, if you want to do it for the entire day, you could do this and not make it individual periods. This is just a suggestion that was brought to my attention. Now I want to move this to a new folder, and this time I want to make it results because I don't want them to get confused and try to do the wrong thing. Results. So now I've made a new folder and I've now made it forms, which is the data collection. This is the results part. And so on. So now we have made the form for them to complete, and we have made this website, and I could continue doing the same concept as Miss Moore and do it all. It's very similar, period 1, period 2, and so on. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to go back to here, and I'm now going to pretend I am a student. So I'm going to log in as to my student account, Dora the Explorer, and I am pretending I am the student. So Dora is going to be instructed by the teacher to then click on her website and click on the Science Demo website and go to the projects page. That's pretty simple. So this is all you're going to tell your teacher or your students in your class. Click on the projects page. They have done their rockets 1 and 2. They have collected the data. Now they need to submit their data into period 1. So for day 1, they're going to click on View and they're going to complete this form. They're going to complete this form. Now one thing I will recommend is I'm going to say Test Demo. I'm going to say Rocket 1. Please, they will know what type of measurements they will be using. So don't have them put it in there. So I would just tell them to put, 5.5. Don't have them put it in grams because we're going to have to remove that anyway. So you might want to make sure length 10. And again, I so don't have a clue. And so on. So they're going to complete this entire form and hit submit, and they're going to repeat that option again by doing Rocket 2. Okay, in the meantime, the students have collected the data, or the students have submitted their data for this project. And I'm going to show you and demonstrate what the next step is. So in theory, all the students have collected all the data for the Rockets 1 and 2. They have submitted that form that we've talked about. Now, the other part that we need to look at is the results page. Now, we have posted the results for period 1, and here is the results. Now, keep in mind, we shared this with anyone with the link, and you'll notice this is only view only, so they cannot mess up with this data. So Dora is unable to make changes. But what's that going to teach the kids? They need to make a copy of this, tweak the data, and make some charts with this. That's the next step, right? So there is some tweaking that needs to evolve. The first thing Dora needs to do is she's going to go to File, Make a Copy. And again, I'm a student right now, and she's going to call it whatever direction she gets. So I'm going to call it Charts Rocket 1. Or Charts Rockets, whatever the case may be. I'm going to hit OK. Now, she's making a copy of that data that she has no rights to edit, but she's making it her own. Well, with charts, you know that some of this data is not going to work very well. So I'm just, for demonstration purposes, I'm going to go ahead and just delete the rest of this data so this can speed up this process. So I'm going to delete these rows because I'm not really caring about this. We're just going to demonstrate this. Well, with charts, we can't really use any of this information, but we could. But the main thing is it doesn't like the increments. So we'll have to remove all the measuring types. Now, this is why I said it's very important to tell your students not to put that in there. You need to let them know it's important to measure in those correct measurements, but not enter them in the form. Okay, in the meantime, I have erased all the measurements. And so, like, even the feet and two, because that's kind of the most important thing. The other thing I would do is now, once you've done that, I would actually make one more copy. So I would go ahead and copy or duplicate this sheet. So I'm going to go ahead and duplicate this sheet. I'm going to rename it and just say data for charts or whatever the case may be. Because now I'm going to remove some of this junk that really does not apply, and it's really going to kind of make my life easier. So I'm going to go to Edit, Delete A and C. I'm not caring about this information right now for my particular charts, but I'm not losing my data because I always go back and copy and paste it from the form responses. So again, I'm going to go ahead and delete this information and so on. Now, again, I am not a science person. I am a tech integrationist. So I was told this particular chart is really good for scatter chart. So I'm going to go ahead and highlight this information. So B through F and the information with the data collected. Then you're going to go to Insert Chart. Okay, you can also go over here and click on it. But then you can click on Charts, and you can see there's all different types of charts. So I'm going to click on Scatter. And then I'm going to click on Scatter Chart, and then you can see how this works. So then I'm going to go ahead and insert, and a window will pop up here shortly. And I don't like it on top of my data. That's a preference of mine. But I could move this over if I wanted to. But I'm going to open it into a new sheet. So if you click on the little drop-down arrow and click on Move to Own Sheet, you'll notice then I will have 3 tabs down here. This is where then you can advance edit your chart. So you click on advance edit. You can name the chart. You could say rocket chart. You can change the background of the chart. You can make it yellow if you wanted to, and so on. I'm not going to spend too much time, but you can also change the data series colors if you wanted to, if I wanted it to make it pink or purplish or whatever you want to call it, and update. So again, Google does have some limitations on the charts, don't get me wrong, but it does have a lot of great ways to do this, and so on. You can change the vertical, horizontal title, and so on. But there are tons of charts. So I can actually go back to this data, and then I can actually highlight this information, and I can make another chart. I can go to Insert Chart. Maybe I want this type of chart for this particular one. Now it's got mass, centimeters, diameter, and so on. It's got the rockets. I like this one. I'm going to go ahead and insert this one. Give it a second. Now, again, I would just move this into their own sheet. So now I've got chart 1, chart 2. I can edit this. And also, if I change the mass to, say, 200, you'll notice it changes the charts as well. So it is a great way to mess with your data and kind of see the difference in charts and understand that. But I will also include in this tutorial a breakdown of a Science Google Doc that got provided by Ms. Moore, and that will help you as well. If you have any questions, you can contact me. My information will be posted on this tutorial, and I hope you have a great day. Thank you.